Okay, hello everybody and welcome to class. Hope your day's going great so far. I hope you don't have any problems. Hope everything's going well. Please be kind for the sub today. Today, as you can see, we're going to talk about the Middle East, again, specifically the Iraq War. By the end of class today, you should be able to identify three key elements to the Iraq War, including its origins, and utilize their basic information to analyze President Bush's decision to invade Iraq. We're going to take a quick look at, did he make the right decision to invade Iraq? That's what you're going to be thinking about today. So, when you think about Iraq, we hear about it all the time. Where is it? You can see a couple of things here on the map. When you're looking at the map on the left, you see where it sits in the Middle East. And you can see it sits in between the countries of Iran, Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Turkey are to the north. Its capital, Baghdad, is in between the Tigris and Euphrates River. And for those of you that know tons about world history, you know that is right where civilization started, in that old area of Mesopotamia. If you look at the map on the right, you'll see a world map, and you'll see the red arrow that points to just about where it sits at in the world. Again, it is in the Middle East. It's got Europe to its north west. It's got Asia to its east and Africa to its south. So let me introduce you to some people here, some key context and some people. Obviously, when you hear 9/11, we're talking about September 11th, 2001. That's when we have a series of coordinated terrorist attacks launched by Al Qaeda in New York City and Washington, D.C. 4 planes were hijacked, 2 planes were flown into the World Trade Center in New York City, and 1 plane was flown into the Pentagon. We had over 2,600 Americans died during these attacks. One of the most horrific events that our country has ever faced on its own soil. We talked yesterday about the war becoming personal for people in that Arab-Israeli conflict. This was really the first time ever that we had a war that was very personal to the citizens of America, where the war was brought to our front door. And this was one of those instances where we see that happen. On this slide here, you can see some photos of it. In the top left-hand side, you can see the World Trade Centers, the two towers before they fell. On the top right-hand side, you can see the Pentagon after the plane crashed into it. On the bottom left-hand side, you can see the people running after the World Trade Centers collapsed. And on the bottom right, you can take a look and you can see, again, the fiery crash of planes into the World Trade Center. Few other people that are playing an important role in this Iraq war. The group Al Qaeda, which we learned about yesterday when we talked about Afghanistan, which is a global terrorist organization. It was founded by Osama bin Laden in the 1980s, and they claimed responsibilities for the 9/11 attacks. George W. Bush, who's the man in the middle here, he is the U.S. president during the 9/11 attacks, and he declares a war on terror after September 11th. And in the bottom right-hand side, you see Saddam Hussein, and he is the president slash dictator of Iraq during this time period. He's the one that we initially held responsible for for leading these attacks. So let's talk about the beginnings. President Bush said Iraq, which was led by Saddam Hussein, was secretly making weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction are nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons. Bush also accused Iraq of supporting Al Qaeda and Osama bin Laden. Basically, we looked at Iraq as a haven for terrorists. At first, things seemed to be going well. Our troops moved in, and you can see from the big picture in the middle, we're toppling statues of Saddam Hussein. George W. Bush is giving press conferences saying missions accomplished. As you can see from the picture in the top right-hand side, things, like I said, seem to be going well. But what we ended up seeing was the U.S. began to face much resistance and many challenges in Iraq. The ethnic and religious divisions in Iraq caused civil war. The Shiite and Sunni Islamic sects compete to lead the country of Iraq. In 2003, Saddam Hussein was captured and executed for his war crimes in 2006. And really, up to this point, we've had around 5,000 soldiers lost their lives in Iraq, fighting to get rid of Saddam Hussein, and then fighting to help them end their civil war. So, our big question is, how should we remember President Bush's decision to invade Iraq? Because it is so controversial. And some of that is because of things that we know now that we didn't know before. And that's what you guys are going to investigate today in pairs. You can see here, I'm going to want you to go ahead and move and sit with your partners. You see here, I have your partners. Here are my Bell 1 partners. Katie, Cameron, Olivia, Carly Ann, Ali, Sadiq, Bella, Kylie, Austin, Abby, S, and Maya, JC, and Emily, and Alex, and TJ, and Caitlin, and Casey, and Maddie, and Abby, and Isaac, and Brianna. Got some partners in Bell 2 as well, and you can see those. I'm not going to read all those names again, but those are your partners. You're going to move and sit next to your partners. Here are my Bell 5 partners. You can see your partners there. Who your partner is in Bell 5. You're going to move and you're going to sit next to them. Your sub has this list too, so they know who you should be sitting with. And what you're going to do with your partner is first decide who is partner A and who is partner B. If you are partner A, you're going to come and grab document 1 from the sub and question set 1 from the sub. If you are partner B, you're going to get from the sub today document set 2 and guiding questions set 2 from the sub. As an individual, you will work through the front information and read your documents and answer your questions. When you are done with that, you will then share information with your partner. All right, when you're both ready, you will share information with your partner and do the partner share section. You should be able to do this today during class. If you have questions about anything or concerns about anything, or you don't understand a word, you can ask the sub, or you can always send me an email, post a message on Google Classroom, and I will get back with you and I will help you. Okay? I'm going to be sitting in the waiting room today, so I will have plenty of time to answer any questions that you have. The important thing with today's work is that you finish it. Okay? And the whole time while you're doing this, you're thinking about an answer to the question, how should we look back on George Bush's decision to invade Iraq? That's what you're doing in this assignment, and that's what you're keeping in mind the entire time. Alrighty, if you don't have any questions, all right, again, work with your partner. You do the individual part first, then do the partner section next. Hopefully you're great for the sub. Hopefully you don't have any problems. But if you do, make sure you email me or chat me or post a message on Google Classroom, and I will get back with you. Have a great day, everybody.